This is a tough one to put into words. Regardless, big spoilers ahead. I really recommend you play the Talos Principle before watching this video, but it's kind of long, so if you just want to get down to the juicy philosophy, then welcome in. There is a myth in ancient Greek mythology that basically describes the first robot. Their name was Talos. Built by Hephaestus, Talos was designed to look like, talk like, think like, and even feel like a human. Hell, Talos even bled like a human. If you gave them a human exam, they'd pass with flying colors. And yet, we still wouldn't call Talos a human. After all, it's made of metal, not flesh, and bleeds ichor, not blood. But I'm not here to talk about philosophy in Greek mythology, so let's just assume that Talos is made of flesh and blood. Even so, we know that Talos wasn't made the old-fashioned way, and so wouldn't call them human. Think replicants from Blade Runner. Now, I'm sure that we can pick apart the meaning of creation to the point of cellular manipulation, but I'm willing to say that there's some fundamental reason why we wouldn't call Talos a human, a reason beyond physical. So, what does it mean to be a human? This is when we introduce the Talos Principle. It's a video game. I didn't just make up a principle based on the myth, although you'll soon see the similarities. The Talos Principle is a first-person puzzle game. You are a robot who solves puzzles while simultaneously exploring different biomes. The game does a good job at hinting at something more as well. As you explore, you find data files describing the world of humanity and the blight they are facing. You hold conversations with a computer that's keen on asking you a lot of questions about the nature of being. It makes you think and wonder what's going on alongside improving our intelligence and puzzle-solving ability. All the while, a divine voice speaks to you from the heavens, instructing you on where to go, and reminding you to not go to the tower. So here we are, a robot learning to act like a human by solving puzzles. It's no secret that something is missing if we are to be a human. After all, a robot can only go so far as its programming allows, and if their programming is telling them not to go to the tower, then they're not going to the tower. Except that we do go to the tower. So the game kind of cheats philosophy by letting us, a human, ultimately be in control, but it does so in order to allow the possibility that the robot goes to the tower. So what happens next? We'll get there. If instead we choose to listen to the voice, we continue down our ordained path, one that leads to heaven. We are deemed a good boy and allowed into heaven but fail a part of our end analysis. All this time we were being tested to see if we have what it takes to be considered a human despite our origins as a program, and by obediently solving puzzles, we failed. The game restarts back to you at the beginning, a new you in fact, sort of like how machine learning cycles through new versions of a program, ready to play the game all over again. How many times do you think our character has gone through this process of solving puzzles before we came along? But I digress. Now back to the robot going to the tower, which implies the robot, aka us, has chosen to not listen to the divine voice, the governing authority. However, it's not enough to enter the tower. We actually need to complete extra levels to access the tower. Then we need to battle our way through storm and tempest to reach the end. We must put every effort we can to definitively disobey our programming. Once we do, we end up in heaven again. How about that? And the voice concludes we're good enough for what lies next. We pass the human test. We are released from our testing grounds and enter the real world in order to pick up where humanity left off in art, philosophy, and whatever else it is that humans do. Programs are not designed on a fundamental level to disobey their programming. To do so would simply be illogical, like an apple falling upward. And so, what makes us different from programs? Like Adam and Eve, we can disobey, we can make mistakes, and we can act illogically. Like Talos, our bodies can be altered, removed, and even replaced, yet it is how our minds work that define our humanity. We can also use this distinguishment to separate ourselves from animals as well. Creatures of Mother Nature live by the rules of survival, like a sort of natural programming that governs animal behavior to let them live just long enough. Beasts do not know why they do what they do. Like the robot, they simply follow the voice in their head, informing them in a language only they understand to, say, not eat the brightly colored poisonous frog. We humans, on the other hand, are different. We can disobey. We can choose to not listen to reason. We can even recognize and ignore the survival instincts programmed into our minds from years of evolution, the machine learning of nature. We are aware of logic and can thus act against it. In doing so, we become something more than a piece of the collective. We become individuals. That is what makes us humans. By placing us and our human minds in a world of programs and puzzles, the Talos Principle highlights what it is that makes us distinctly human: the paradox of both intelligence and the choice to fully disobey logic. Intelligent disobedience to logic is what makes us human. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to subscribe for more, and share with others to help support the channel.